In September of 1987, something was found in a junkyard in Goiânia, Brazil. The man who found it didn't know what it was. The man who bought it didn't know what it was. The children who touched it didn't know what it was. What they knew was that it glowed blue, and it was beautiful. It was also Cesium-137, one of the most dangerous radioactive substances on Earth. And for 15 days, no one knew. The Instituto Goiano de Radioterapia had been closed for 2 years, a legal dispute. The building, locked. The staff, gone. The equipment, left behind. Among it, a Siemens Gamatron teletherapy unit, a machine designed to deliver targeted radiation to cancer patients. At its core, a sealed lead capsule. And inside that capsule, 93 grams of Cesium-137 chloride. Cesium-137 is a byproduct of nuclear fission. Half-life, 30 years. It does not announce itself. You cannot see it, cannot smell it, cannot feel it until it has already done the damage. Brazil's nuclear authority, the CNEN, knew the machine was there. They had sent one notice, one. No follow-up, no inspection, no removal. On September 13th, 1987, Roberto dos Santos Alves and Wagner Mota Pereira entered through a broken window. They were scavengers, looking for scrap metal to sell. They found the machine, couldn't carry it whole, so they took it apart. Roberto's hands began to swell that same afternoon. He thought he had been bitten by something. He was wrong. The pieces were sold to Dever Alves Ferreira, owner of a junkyard in the Aeroporto neighborhood. Dever was the kind of man who couldn't leave a mystery alone. Over 3 days, he worked at the lead cylinder with a screwdriver, chipping, prying, until he made a small opening, and from that opening, blue light. Not a reflection, not electricity, not fire. The powder inside glowed, softly, steadily, blue. What Dever was seeing was Cherenkov radiation. The faint blue glow emitted as Cesium-137 particles ionize the air around them. It is, scientifically speaking, one of the most dangerous things a human being can witness at close range. Dever thought he had found something supernatural. He carried it into his house that night, set it on the dinner table, called his wife, his brother, the neighbors. "Come see," he said. "Come see what I found." People passed the glowing powder between their hands. Some painted it on their skin, just to watch themselves shimmer in the dark. Dever's brother Ivo took some home. His 6-year-old daughter, Lyda Dusnave, was playing nearby while the adults examined the glow. She ate a sandwich with the same hands that had touched the powder. The blue light was beautiful. It was also 37 times the annual radiation dose limit per hour. By the time anyone connected the sickness to the glow, the contamination had already moved. It moved in pockets, in shoes, on the fabric of bus seats, on doorknobs, in the creases of palms, into 3 residential houses, a second junkyard, a public pharmacy. The people who had handled the powder began to fall ill, nausea, vomiting, skin that burned from within, hair beginning to fall. But they didn't connect it to the glow. Why would they? It was just powder. It was beautiful. Roberto, the man who first dismantled the machine, had lost the use of his right hand. He went to a clinic. They told him it was a tropical disease. Wagner The other scavenger was also ill. Told the same thing. De Ferreira was vomiting every day, losing weight. He didn't stop working. The powder was still in his house. For 15 days, the Cesium-137 continued, silent, invisible, patient. It was De Ver's wife who finally broke the silence, Maria Gabriela Ferreira. She had watched the people around her fall apart, day by day, and she had made a connection that no one else was willing to make. On September 28th, 15 days after the capsule was first opened, she collected what remained of the glowing material, put it in a plastic bag, and took it to the Vigilância Sanitária, Brazil's public health surveillance office. The physician on duty, Dr. Paulo Roberto Monteiro, placed the bag on a scale. He noticed there was a Geiger counter on the shelf. He turned it on. It screamed. He called the authorities. The authorities called the army, and the army called it what it was: a radiological emergency. The largest in the Western Hemisphere, in a city of 700,000 people who had no idea. The Estadio Olímpico, Pedro Ludovico Teixeira, home stadium of Atlético Goianiense. On October 1st, 1987, it became something else entirely. 112,000 people were screened, line after line, Geiger counter after Geiger counter, day and night. 249 were found significantly contaminated. 20 were hospitalized. 14 showed internal contamination. 4 would die. Lady das Neve Ferreira was 6 years old. She died on October 23, 1987. When her family brought her body to the cemetery, protesters lined the roads. They carried signs. Radioactive. Do not bury here. She was buried anyway. Her coffin lined with lead. Her grave sealed with concrete. The contaminated houses were demolished. The soil removed, bagged, stored. Mattresses, clothing, a car. Buried in a repository outside the city. 7 locations in Goiânia declared atomic waste sites. Ordinary streets, ordinary houses, atomic waste. Lawsuits were filed. The CNN was criticized. No one went to prison. The Cesium-137 repository outside Goiânia is still there. The material won't decay to safe levels for another 300 years. De Ferreira, the man who opened the capsule, died in 1994. His wife, Maria Gabriela, the woman who raised the alarm, survived. The International Atomic Energy Agency uses Goiânia as a case study in every training program, in every safety manual. The lesson they teach: the most dangerous things in the world don't always look dangerous. Sometimes they glow.